I'm Jody Jean Daniels, and this is my channel, Just Right, where we talk about being the best writers and human beings that we can be. I am the author of the acclaimed series, The Tomb of Eight, three books in the series so far, with a fourth on the near horizon and a fifth in production. The three that are out right now that you can pick up at Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Smashwords, all the usual places are The Ledger, which is book one. Book two is The Replica, and book three is The Stolen. And they are, get caught up, guys, because book four and five are coming. If you are not already, please click the subscribe button and subscribe. Please subscribe to my baby channel. I appreciate it so much. And check out my YouTube memberships, one of which I'm so excited about. It is a brand new group. We are going to have a critique group. And we're going to meet twice a month on like a Zoom call. The Everyone that's a member of that tier, depending on how many I have, I may have to break it down. We'll see. And how many times I have to do it, but I'm really excited where we're going to go over your story and we're going to take time to help each other with our work. I'm trying to think of something else to call it other than a critique group that gets the point across, because we're not going to critique, we're going to help each other with our stories. So I'm really excited about that. And today I'm excited about this too. We are going to talk about how to craft an amazing story. So let's jump in. Um, the building blocks of a story. And we're going to be talking about building blocks this whole month of February, and I think maybe even a little bit into March. But the building blocks of a story, because stories are an essential part of human history. From ancient myths to modern cinema to storytelling, it has been a powerful tool that has inspired and educated and entertained us. They help us make sense of the world, and they help us connect with each other and ignite emotions that we might not feel otherwise. And the best stories resonate because they tap into those universal themes and structures that have stood the test of time. Whether it is a timeless fairy tale, or a love story, or a gripping novel that's just thrilling and action, 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 the fundamental building blocks are and have remained the same. Okay? So in this talky talk, go and get your drink or your coffee. I'm double fisting today. And we are going to delve into the core components that bring a narrative to life. Let me get a sip. All right, we're going to look at the core elements of what makes a great story. Great stories, they share fundamental elements that bring them to life. The first of which, in my opinion, is the characters. Because it's the characters that embark on the transformative journey. Whether, they go anywhere or not, it can be somebody who's in their hometown, you know, the story is just built around them in their hometown, but it has to be a transformative journey. It doesn't have to be Lord of the Rings, you're going on a that type of journey. It's got to be relatable, because the heroes and the villains, your characters, are what make a story memorable. The next thing you need is conflict. Conflict is going to drive your story. Without an internal or an external struggle, the story is going to lack that tension and those stakes, because conflict keeps an audience invested and eager to see a resolution. Then there's the setting. Again, like I was saying, it can be anywhere. It can be any point in time, place, atmosphere. It can be in a small town. It can be in another world, another galaxy. It can be, but what matters is that it's well crafted and it enhances the immersion and it enriches your plot. Because your plot is the backbone of storytelling. A clear beginning, middle, and end, they have to be cohesive. You have to have that. And then mastering those elements and then layering them on top of each other, that is what lays your foundation for a compelling story. The hero's journey. Now, this is one of the most enduring storytelling structures. The hero's journey is a narrative pattern that's found in myths, films, literatures across cultures. And it begins with a call to adventure. Think Lord of the Rings, think Star Wars, in those type of situations. It's where a protagonist steps out of their ordinary world and into an unfamiliar realm. And that moment has to spark excitement and uncertainty because it's forcing them into action, but it's also helping your reader start to engage with that character. And the journey continues through the trials and the transformations. That's where your hero is going to face those obstacles and meet mentors and undergo internal growth. And I think that phase is really key because that's where your story becomes emotionally engaging. And again, emotions are going to drive your reader to want to keep investing in your story. And by investing, I mean reading, not putting the book down, but into reading. And then when the hero reaches the climax or the return, okay, it's where they confront their greatest fear and their greatest challenge, and they achieve that transformation and they return home with newfound wisdom. So think about, again, from Star Wars to The Lord of the Rings, that structure remains the cornerstone of storytelling. And if you're doing it right, you can find that same structure in a cozy small town romance. You can find that structure in a thriller. You can find that structure in all places in your novel writing when you're doing it right. Right. Emotional connection in storytelling. This one is important. Let me get another sip, guys. Much better. The emotional connection is always at the heart of any good story because your readers and viewers engage most when they see themselves in a character. A relatable character is going to drive your story and make it compelling because they reflect real human emotions and the growth and the conflicts that we all go through on a daily basis. Some of them may be an over the top situation that we wouldn't but go through personally, but you can put yourself in that place when you're reading it and you're really immersed in a story that's doing it well. High emotional stakes are essential. A story must make audiences care what happens next, whether it's a life-changing decision, a personal loss, an intense moment of triumph. If the stakes don't feel real, your readers are not going to invest and they're not going to keep reading. And then finally, the best stories are going to blend those personal experiences with universal themes. While every story is different, every story is unique, the emotions of love, loss, ambition, redemption, those emotions resonate across cultures and across time. So, striking that balance and making your story timeless and unforgettable, that's how you're going to do it. You're going to do it with creating emotional connections. All right, the role of conflict and stakes. Oh my goodness. Conflict it's another backbone of storytelling. It's one of the most important levels. Without challenges and obstacles, a story is going to feel flat and lack engagement. So, whether you have a hero who's struggling against a villain, an internal moral dilemma, societal pressure, whatever it may be, that conflict is what's going to drive your narrative forward and keep your readers reading and invested in your story. The story, how do I word this? How do I make it make sense? I think what it is the stakes of a story are going to determine how much your reader cares about your outcome and if they want to go through the entire book and read it to the end. I believe the higher the stakes in a story and the more tension in a story and excitement in a story, it's going to generate that for your reader. Um, a character fighting for their life or risking everything for love is going to be more compelling and going to draw your reader in more than something that's just a minor inconvenience. So, lastly, on this, your resolution, the last chapter of your book, your resolution, whether it's a magic or tragic, the payoff at the end of the book should feel earned. Like it was worth, when I finish a book and it ends well, it needs to be okay. My time was well spent. This was worth reading. So the journey of conflict should transform the character and leave a lasting impact on your reader. It should be that when you do that and you're doing it well, that's going to bring back your reader and they're going to reread your book and reread your book. And when they see your author name pop up with another, they're going to pick that book up because they're going to know how you drive your books and make it worth them spending their time to read your book. Dialogue and narrative style. Um, I love writing dialogue. I have been told that maybe I write too much dialogue sometimes, but I believe that dialogue, it is what will captivate your audience. It should feel like you're sitting there talking to a friend. It's got to feel natural. And the personality and emotions and relationships between your characters um, need to feel real and not clunky. I think that a strong narrative voice, it sets a tone for a story. So whether you write in first person for intimacy or third person for that broader perspective or even omniscient for depth, the choice impacts how the audience is going to engage with your story. So I don't think any, you know, point of view is particularly the right way. I prefer first person. Um, I'm playing around with some other options, but I think that it makes it more intimate setting for me. And then finally on the dialogue and narrative style is remember the golden rule: show, don't tell. Rather than explaining emotions or events and subtext to convey the meaning, because that allows the audience to engage and it helps the reader experience the story rather than just reading about it. If that makes sense. I know they're reading it, but it makes them feel like they're part of the story when you are doing it. Like when you're doing the show don't tell. All right, visual storytelling. Visual storytelling is a way to enhance your narrative and it makes a more immersive read and it makes it more emotional. So you need to use images to invoke emotions. You're going to set the tone and the atmosphere in a way that words alone cannot. A single powerful image can convey loss, hope, joy. It can do it instantly. Just a visual description of something. So you can also play around with symbolism and metaphors because they play a huge role in visual storytelling. Filmmakers, novelists, artists, they all use reoccurring imagery to reinforce themes, like a lone bird symbolizes freedom or a shadowed figure represents turmoil. And additionally, in modern storytelling, we've really started borrowing heavily from cinema. Techniques like visual pacing, framing, and perspective shifts are helping us craft more engaging and dynamic narratives. And I think by incorporating the visuals effectively, you can deepen the impact of your story and you can create more unforgettable moments for your reader. Now that we've explored all the core, we're going to kind of bring it together in conclusion here. Start with your strong characters, multi-dimensional characters, individuals with flaws, individuals with desires, individuals that have an arc to them. Because audience are going to resonate with a character who feels real and undergoes like a meaningful transformation. Next, compelling conflict. Every story thrives, and on that, just the tests that the characters go through, and you have to force them to evolve. And that conflict should always raise the stakes and create tension and emotional investment. And then finally, the show don't tell, because that engages your audience with the vivid descriptions, the authentic dialogue, and the powerful symbolism that we talked about. And the more immersive your story is, the more impactful it's going to become. So, by mastering these techniques, you can create a narrative that captivates and inspires. And I hope that you go tell your story. And I hope that you come and join the critique group and I can help you tell that story. And I'm so excited about it. I can't say enough. I keep babbling on about it. So I hope you guys found this informative and helpful. Remember to click the like button and subscribe. And remember to check out the brand new critique group on my YouTube membership, where you will meet with me via Zoom to go over your story with other whiskeys. And you know what I'm going to say before I say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm a really awesome group of people's double shot of whiskey. And I'm so happy and I'm so proud that you come and hang out with me and that you find me just right. I will see you Saturday for Double Down Day. I will be on at 3 p.m. Eastern. I will see you next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for a live stream, and next Thursday night for a live stream. And I might even pop up some surprise pop-ups here and there. I'll see you guys later. Love you, love you. Bye.